Welcome to my channel, Level Headed with Levi T. Please hit the subscribe button, the like button, and set the bell notification to all. Please also share this. Let's get into it.
Don't wait up, I've been working hard every day, living dreams for a pay stub, yeah, straight up. 5 years later, like I said, I would make it on my way up. It's all up, coming from the nation, made a foundation, true stuff, yeah, too tough. We ain't giving up on our dreams, everything is ahead of us. Stay true to your path, it's not where you start, it's all where you're at. It's where you end up when your back's to the mat. Do you cripple the flat or get up off your back? Deliver these facts to see them react. The stadium's packed, they all gonna snap. The motivated attract, the escalated attack, the frustrated hit back. Yeah, we move fast. I wanna change everything. I swear I'll do anything just to get where I wanna be. I won't stop till I'm free. I won't stop till I'm free. I won't stop, no. I won't let go. I won't drop, no. And I won't let go. I won't stop, no. I won't let go. It's automatic, I'm always getting after it. If you ain't working, I don't understand what's happening. There's not enough time just to be imagining. You gotta take some action towards practicing. I know it's not easy, but you gotta get out there. Make your own meaning, can't afford to have doubts. They'll interrupt here, man, I just wanna look out there. The crowd all screaming. I wanna change everything. I swear I'll do anything just to get where I wanna be. I won't stop till I'm free. I won't stop till I'm free. I won't stop, no. I won't let go. I won't drop, no. And I won't let go. I won't stop, no. I won't let go. I won't drop, no. And I won't let go. I won't stop, no. I won't let go. I won't drop, no. And I won't let go. I won't stop, no. I won't let go. I won't drop, no. And I won't let go.
Hello.
Hello.
I am here for the audience out there. I am here with Lucian's aunt, and we'll be discussing some things. Hold on here. I just want to bring up his picture. I always like putting his picture up here when we discuss him so people can see who Lucian is. That is Lucian. Lucian is a 5-year-old from Yakima, Washington. He went missing on September 10th, 2022 from Sarg Hubbard Park in Yakima. He is approximately 48 inches tall and roughly 50 pounds. The family has searched the park. The police have searched the park. They've used drones. They've used helicopters. They've have searched bodies of water a couple of times and continue to search them. And we are here today to bring awareness and talk about things that are upcoming and how we can support the family here. So if you guys missed it, there is the police chief recanted his statement that Lucian was seen on video camera heading in the southeast direction. But if you listen to that video really, really closely and understand and interpret what he is saying, there is video evidence, but as part of the investigation. So to keep the integrity of the investigation on other video surveillance of people in the car and them at different food marts and stuff, that is to keep the integrity of the case. And they'll do updates as needed when they find something else that they need public's assistance on. How are you, Amy?
I'm okay. How are you?
I am great. It is Friday.
It is Friday, yes.
It's always a good thing. I'm really happy that the sheriff when asked, that he stepped up and did what was right.
Yeah, we are too. That was one of the biggest things that Sandra wanted, was a clarity of this, because we've just heard there were so many people who had the information that he did have a video that had Lucian on tape. And when we saw the video of Chief Murray stating that as well, but when she talked to her detectives and talked to other law enforcement that were all duty, they kept reassuring her no. So it was confusion on both sides, as well as even the sheriff's office was able to recognize that causes a lot of heat on the family. So it was good that they were able to go ahead and clear that up for us and the public.
Yeah, it starts to take my. I've always been at that park still. I do know, and I don't know if you watched my show the other day, but I do know that they did take the cadaver dog into a boat raft back into the to search the pond again. And what that means is that cadaver dogs can smell up to 90 meters, or not 90 meters, 30 meters, which is roughly 98 feet of water. So I think they were doing another courtesy check. As one of the divers said, it was 90 to 95% clear. Which still leads me to my theory that somebody took him over by the pond.
Yeah, the pond, I know that the Yakima Police Department was leading the search for the pond at Sarg Hubbard again. Again, the biggest probability is what they told us, especially with autistic children, they're going to go to somewhere that's familiar to them. And the river wasn't familiar to Lucian. He didn't know where it was at from there. However, with the pond being in sight and he has been to the pond before, that is what would have logically really pulled his attention and drawn him to. However, they have searched that area quite a bit. I think it's going on 7 times now that they've had divers go through that one. And they just keep not finding anything. I don't know how, if he was in there, I don't know how he wouldn't have been found yet. They have said that it is really difficult visibility wise with that pond. There's just so much seaweed type of things in there. We watched them come out of it before. The first time that they searched it, they had a boat out there and a chain, and they were trying to clear the area to make the visibility better, but that wasn't very effective. I just personally don't know how he would be, if he'd be in there, how he wouldn't be found.
Yeah, I was talking to a retired detective that's done plenty of body recoveries from ponds, and it just doesn't seem logical that he is in that pond, especially with the different dive teams that have been in there. I haven't ruled out the river yet, but that's going to be a process. But
yes, we do have we talked to the sheriffs about that as well. They're still searching. We still have that kayaking club that goes out and searches for us. And then with duck hunting starting, we're just kind of asking all duck hunters to keep an extra lookout while they're up on the river in their boats, because that'll get a very high volume of extra eyes that will be able to keep an eye out. So we're going to try to post, there's a Pacific Northwest duck hunting Facebook page that my brother's a part of. So he's posting on there to see if he can get the duck hunters of Washington State to make sure to keep an eye out for anything that could be Lucian related.
This is Amy for chat. This is Amy. This is Lucian's aunt that is speaking. Let's go over. That is a big thing. I know that there's a channel. It's called Boatwright. He's been flying his drone over by the dam. He has a YouTube channel, just so you know. And I believe he was out there searching at the beginning. That's a big, that river moves pretty quickly. And obviously, I think it's the water's high right now. Am I wrong?
No, it is very high. Yeah, they've been draining. It's called Rimrock Lake, I believe, is what's causing the increase. If I understood what they were saying correctly, so it increases the water where. So I'm not very. I do not have a lot of knowledge on this, so please forgive me if I
Yeah.
misspeak on it. But there's two rivers that connect into the Yakima River, the Natchez one and another one. The Natchez one is the one that they would drain Rimrock Lake from. So that water is going to increase the flow from that direction. So it's going to stay pretty. It was supposed to lower soon, but it looks like it's not going to be as low as previous years, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, somebody was telling me with what was happening, somebody that was in chat that knows the river really well, that typically it lowers like a couple months ago, it would have been lower, and then it starts to fill up now. So I have not gone and looked myself. It just was something that a local was saying. The underground bunkers. So I know that they've been searching. There was a news article showed one of the underground bunkers. I did find where there's underground caves or pathways or walkways in another article that was out there. Now I know that there's a lot of them, and you can. I know you guys have searched some of it. Can you elaborate on? Have you been able to get to majority of it? Or there's just so much down there that it's still ongoing?
It's still on. There's so much to search down there. It's with those bunkers. There's no way to tell how many there are because of how well they're hidden. Juan has been the one, and the people he has out searching, the ones who has found majority of these bunkers. And he finds them because he's just constantly in that wood-like area that's around, just walking back and forth looking for any type of sign, and he just happens to stumble on them, as well as when he is talking with the homeless community. They have been pretty friendly with Juan, so they are able to let him know kind of where it would be at or where to look, and that's how he ends up stumbling atop of them. But when he's there, you don't know what's there because it just looks like the ground. You wouldn't think anything of it. So we don't know how many there are or how many more to search. But they have come across quite a few. I think that we've shared that with you before. And then the big one most recently of where it was basically a house underneath the ground.
Yeah. I know that's going to be a process because I've seen some other news articles where there's like caves and other stuff underneath there as well. So that'll be an ongoing thing. Now, the biggest thing for people to do is to put flyers up and keep looking, keep searching. Lucian's out there someplace, and everybody in the community has to come together and continue to put flyers out and continue looking. The chief has said it since I think it was the second day, that he says that everybody needs to support the family, as this is one of the hardest times of their life, is trying to find their son. And he said it again last night when he was speaking, which is a good sign, and the cooperation amongst everybody and the openness of the investigation is going pretty well. Just trying to think here real quick. What else do we want to get into here?
I think a lot of people are also confused with Chief Murray's statement. There was just kind of a little bit, the family included. We had a meeting with YPD and the sheriffs on Monday, so we thought there was going to be more clarity with his statement, but we're working on a statement of our own to be able to publish with an update and all of the things that we talked about from there. But a lot of people keep thinking when he says there's no foul play, there's no evidence of foul play. Like, no, there's no evidence showing where Lucian could be right now. However, what the no foul play means is that they have been able to look into family and close friends and such like that, and have able to determine that they have not been a part of it. I know that a lot of people are like, well, this doesn't clear the parents. Have you investigated the parents? Reassure you, they have absolutely investigated the parents. I'm starting to see more and more people saying, why hasn't the brother spoken out? The brother is 6 years old. He is not going to be spoken out. We are not going to put him on the news. We are not going to put him on YouTube. That is not going to be an option. We are here. He deserves to be protected, and he deserves to keep his innocence. However, you guys have to, everybody needs to understand that he is also a child. They have experts who they are able to, child experts from the FBI who have spoken with Adonis in terms of trying to get information of, okay, where could you have possibly seen him walk? If he's supposed to be the last person who has with him and seen with him, maybe he did see where Lucian walked. However, when you have such a tense situation, a lot of children tend to shut down because they think that they're in trouble, or they think that they did something wrong. It's a lot of weight to put on a child like that. That's why they do have experts come in and speak to them. But no, Lucian's brother will not be speaking to any of the public about this situation.
I mean, you can go into it. People need to understand that when kids are around, that it affects them just as how you see the parents, how it affects them. It probably affects him more than it affects anybody else, in my opinion, of doing cases, if that makes sense. So he is another one that you should always keep into your prayers, because I'm sure that he feels horrible, and I don't know how else to explain it without giving up exactly what I know is what's going on, but he's having a rough time. How about we put it like that? As expected. So the other thing is, and I don't know if I said this at the beginning, and if I'm repeating myself, I'm just so y'all know that just because they say there's no video evidence of Lucian walking away from the park, it doesn't mean that they don't have them on camera someplace else, like a traffic camera at the mini marts, coming into the park. All the chief was clearing up is that they did not see him walking in the southeast direction on camera. Because I see that's the new thing. Instead of putting flyers out there and supporting, running with another different conclusion or another different theory that is being spread, was he even there? But pretty sure that is supported by eyewitnesses and other information that would be contained as evidence to hold the investigation. Is that a good enough way to put it for you?
I think so. Yeah, that's it. Good.
Yeah. Do you want to hit? So when you first were out there, I don't know when you got there, but when you first went out there, there was a group of community people that were helping, a pretty large group, correct?
Yes, I got there that evening. Sandra called me around. It was right after she got to park. It was probably around. It must have been after she realized that he wasn't just gone around. So I think she called me around like 7:50, and we headed straight from where we live at, which is about 3 hours. So we got there around midnight. And from there, there's a heavy police force. They still had their bloodhounds out with his scent. The sheriff's station set up their command post by then. And then there was a lot of close family and friends who knew of the situation. At the first couple hours and the first day, I wouldn't say that it was the highest amount of actual volunteers. It was most the news. It wasn't really broken the news about Lucian gone missing because it seemed like it was just a kid who was hiding because he was scared type of situation. But as time got on, the sheriff department had their volunteers out, which was a large group, and then a large group of community volunteers as well.
So, okay. I'm just gonna say it just to get it out there into the open. There was a group of searchers that is now running another page and causing a lot of chaos and following people around and taking pictures. But people need to realize that this may come off the wrong way, but they need to realize that just because Lucian's missing doesn't mean that Sandra has to stay in the house or spends every second searching every minute. I mean, she still has 2 other kids to take care of. She still has herself to tend to. And all of that does not stop because somebody is missing. So when you're following them around and taking pictures and making little side jokes on it, or why are they doing that? You should take your shoe off, take hers for a second and put it on your foot. I think that's the easiest way to put it.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that people need to, especially about Sandra, that she does have 2 other children besides Lucian. That she, and Juan is has that experience to be able to go out and hike and go through that tough terrain that there is. And somebody has to be with those babies. Somebody needs to be with them and tend with them. And it's hard for Sandra to just leave them with somebody, especially with what's going on. She still has to give a normal life to these children and try to protect them from emotional damage as well, on top of the things, especially her littlest, which is barely over 2, who doesn't really understand what's going on. All she knows is she says, "Where's Sushi?" So she knows her brother is gone, but she doesn't know much other than that. She needs to be able to protect those 2 and give them a normal Halloween and give them normal times. Adonis has to go to school. She has to be able to help him go to school and do these things as well.
So I agree with you. Since you brought up Halloween, let's talk about the trunk or treats that are going on. So that, because I do have a lot of locals that will be watching this. So if you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so we'll be at 3 trunk or treats. We'll be at 2 separate churches. I posted them on the Facebook, as well as the Steve Hahn Automotives. They let us get into that one as well, which is huge. That one has about 9,000 people who come through. So we're just printing off as many flyers as we can to have those ready for everybody. And we also have a little typed out piece of paper on ways to help that we'll be posting on our Facebook as well, so that people can come and grab the flyers and grab the paper on how to help. It's a lot of things on how to help, and it's just how to help from home, which, especially how far into the search we're getting, a lot of prolonged search plans involved making sure that his name stays out in the media and in the public, and his face is recognized, and that people can hear Lucian Munguia and be like, "Oh, that's the missing child," or people can see his face and be like, "Oh, that kind of looks like Lucian Munguia." And it's on the paperwork that we have. It's a lot of news networks to reach out to, and different celebrities who have organizations that are dedicated to missing children. So we have those all listed out for people to contact. So we'll be at all of those 3 trunk or treats with the flyers and the information. So if anybody wants to come through and help, we also have obviously lots of candy to give out to. All of our trunks are going to be decorated in sea theme, because that's just Lucian's favorite thing ever. If he was to go to these trunk or treats and he was to see these the way that they're going to be set up, he'd be ecstatic. He wouldn't leave. He would just, his Halloween would be over. He would just stay there the whole time. So
yeah. Which is a great thing. I know that, and I'm going to say we as a community, because I do have some other people that do help, and we as a whole, News Nation was done, In Pursuit was done. I'm working on, I got a bigger channel with over 100,000 subs that will, we're going to set up a time for him to cover Lucian and get the family on there. I have another one with 30,000 subs that hopefully we can get the family on there as well. Those need to be continued things doing. And anybody else out there that has channels that can share a flyer, grab a news article, go over it, put them onto the screen, it all helps. As even Amy, where you live, I'm sure that you're 3 hours away. So I would be really surprised if you walked into a McDonald's or something and asked somebody if they knew who Lucian was, if they'd actually know who he was. So that is the type of things that happen when people go missing. It's not everybody sees social media, or not everybody sees flyers. So it's continually putting out the awareness information. What else do you guys have going on? I know that one searches every single day with a group of people.
Yes, so we've been in contact with, there's a girl who went missing in 1999 in Tacoma, Washington. Her name is Tika Lewis. She's still missing. It'll be 24 years in January. Her mother got in contact with us to kind of give us tips and information. So we are going to have a meeting with, or Sandra will be having a meeting. I'm not sure when it is. It's within the few days, with the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children. And they're the ones who were able to get her onto shows like Nancy Grace and Dr. Phil. And when Oprah was still had her show, she went on to Oprah and was able to give her daughter's story to all of these high viewed media. So Sandra will hopefully get all of that information and how to work with that from the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children. So we're just going to keep working on getting him on as many news channels as we can. You helped us get him onto the News Nation, which is so far the biggest one. We saw the page has almost 1 million followers. Then,
it wasn't just me. There's a whole group of people that helped to make that happen.
Yes.
So,
and then on just pushing his story and his face and his name out into the public. There was somebody who reached out to me who is trying to get a toy drive started for him and his name, which I think is amazing. So we're going to be working on that as well.
Good. Those are all good things. The biggest thing is there's always good creators, bad creators, mischievous creators. And it's, at the end of the day, it is putting awareness one way or another. You don't have to like the person or anything. It's getting that following, getting those people that are in there to know who Lucian is, and to help and continue to put his information and his picture and everything out there. Trying to think of what else we got here.
With the meeting that we had on with YPD and the sheriffs, the only two options it can be is that Lucian is in the river or he's with someone. And until he can be proven to be, there's not a whole lot we can do. Yakima River, they already told us that they cannot put divers into the river. It's a super dangerous river. They do not let divers go into there at all. It's just it's a very big risk that they're not willing to take. So now we are just again asking the duck hunters to keep an extra lookout. The sheriff's department has plans to keep sending out boats to watch the river. Every time somebody has a drone that's willing to donate their time, we're asking them to run the riverbanks just as far as they can go. And then the River Runners of Yakima, which is a kayaking club, they just came again yesterday, and they come, I would say, at least every other week now. So we are still searching the river, but until it's proven he's in there, we're going to assume someone has him, and we're going to push the media, push his face out there, and just make sure people are aware of who he is.
Yeah, which is important. My thoughts always been he could see the pond from the playground, and he would have no clue that the river was there. So I push more towards he went in the direction of the pond because that's where the water is, but he didn't make it all the way there. That's just my opinion. And,
again, the area they keep pinging, they've searched several times on that pond. They've said 90 to 95% confident that he's not in there. I don't know how, if he was in there, how he wouldn't have been seen yet.
Well, there was, to my understanding, there was people that were fishing there that day.
There was, yes.
Yeah. So I would think if they saw a little boy going into the water, that somebody would have said something or went and grabbed him and like kept him away from the water. So, yeah. What else was I going to ask you? There was something else I was going to ask you, but I forgot. Oh, at your trunk or treats, do you guys have yard signs?
We're making like posters, kind of like what we had when we had people standing on the corner of Yakima Ave with signs that will be hanging up. And then we are posted it on our Facebook, so hopefully people can see where we'll be at if they'd like to come and stop on by. We have the 3 locations. I'd have to double check on the name of the church. I would hate to misname that one. But we also have the one at Steve Hahn's, which is going to be, that one is one of the biggest ones in Yakima. So I'm sure there's lots of people who already had plans to go down there. So if you would like to come and stop by, we'll be the trunk that has all types of sea creatures decked out all over it. So we'll be there with flyers and information to give.
Yeah, I see everything that you guys are doing is working. There's becoming a bigger and bigger following in your group, in the Find Lucian Facebook group. And that means a lot. That means that more people are starting to hear his story and starting to join in to help, which is a good thing. What about those guys that search bodies of water to find missing people? I can't remember the name of them.
I think it's Adventure with Purpose. Is the one that
There's another guy out of Wisconsin. I forget his name, but I could get that over to you. He specializes in actual body recoveries as opposed to vehicles like Adventures with Purpose. So he got somebody, he found somebody in the Idaho. There was some river in Idaho that he went and found somebody that was in there after like a couple of months of them missing. So after this, I don't have it off the top of my head. I know Lana has it, who it is. I forget his name though. But at the same time, it's pretty dangerous to dive that river.
Yeah, because we've had some divers offer, not local ones. We brought that up to the sheriff during our meeting. Sheriff Cameron, he's the head sheriff on search and rescue. He told us absolutely not, that there will be no chance that he would be able to give an okay for that because of how dangerous it is, even with experienced divers.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Um, what else do we got? Bunkers are being searched. Um, video surveillance. I mean, they have a lot of different video surveillance. I'm sure they've been checking them at different places. Oh, one thing I wanted to ask you: when you showed up there that night or the next day?
I showed up the night of. It would have been, well, technically it would have been around
The
midnight that
day,
night.
but yeah.
Yes.
So
And then we
I have a
searched. Oh,
I
go
have a
ahead.
question for you. So you know where the parking lot is, the lower parking lot of the park, which is asphalt, by the maintenance shed. Then there's like this little section where semi trucks parked from Walmart and RVs were parked there where people were living. Was that all emptied out by the time you got there, or there were still people there?
There was not. They have started. Not that I didn't notice them. I believe that they were cleared out. Everybody was kind of asked to leave the park when the police first got there. Um, and then there were some of the RVs that the people who lived there were kind enough to just allow us to go through and search, and they had to move their RVs. However, it is starting to, now that the police force isn't so heavy there, it looks like they've all started kind of moving back in. Sandra goes and lights the candles every night still at Sarg Hubbard. Um, and every time we go, it looks like there's more camps getting set up. The same RVs that were parked there before are back. Lots of things like that.
Okay. Hmm. Wow. Um, yeah. You're staying there for the whole trunk or treat thing. And then oh yeah, Adventures with Purpose. I thought it was missing people. I'm sorry. Sorry, I was reading comments. I'm just trying to think of what else that we need to inform the public on.
We'll be coming out with our statement of basically the recap of our meeting with YPD. There was more information that was cleared that wasn't really said in Chief Murray's video, that we'll be clearing up as well. Again, with like the surveillance camera footage that they've looked over. They said that it was taken, if one person was to look over it, they would still be looking into it as of now. All of the places that the family, we came with a list of places we wanted surveillance footage to be looked into. Those were searched already. There was also it looked like cameras at stoplights, but a lot of them are mistaken in their sensors instead of cameras, which is unfortunate. And then there's some other things that YPD will be checking onto the family that they weren't so sure about when we asked them. So hopefully they'll have an update for Sandra today. They said that that's what they would be working on this week. So Sandra's going to be getting with them today before we post our update.
Okay. Perfect. Anything else you can think of before we wrap this up here?
Just everybody to keep sharing Lucian's face on their any type of social media. Reach out to whoever your favorite celebrity is, whoever your favorite professional sports player is. There's a lot of people who, if you just keep sending them messages with the same boy over and over again, it's going to grab their attention. So just keep sending out those sending out Lucian's story to whoever you can think of, whatever news channel you can think of. And again, all over your social media. We just got to keep his face in the public. We got to make sure that people see who he is, because it could just be that one person who saw this one time and recognized him in this one place. So just keep sharing him, and we're going to keep pushing his story as well. And if you would like to come get some flyers and other ways to help, we'll be at the trunk or treats on Monday.
Thank you very much for coming, Amy.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me again.
You're welcome. I'm just going to go over and read his poster. I'm going to actually grab a poster and read his poster, and then I'm going to wrap it up here. You guys have fun at your trunk or treats, and I'll be in contact with you.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a good day.
You're welcome. You too. Bye. All right. Somebody was asking for a flyer. This is the one that I have, but we can get another one. There's a $10,000 reward for the missing child, Lucian James Munguia. He's age 5. Lucian is nonverbal autistic child. He is 5 years old. He was missing September 10th, 2022. He is approximately 46 to 48 inches. He weighs roughly 50 pounds. He has brown hair past his shoulders, as in these pictures, and I'm going to zoom in here. So these are more recent, up-to-date pictures, and I can take myself off of the screen here. And he's missing out of Yakima, Washington. There is a $10,000 reward in the result of the safe return of Lucian James Munguia to his family. And if you have any information regarding his whereabouts, please contact 911, your local police department, FBI, or Find Lucian Facebook group. Tipsters can stay anonymous, give information, and to accept the reward. This poster was sponsored by the Yakima Forest Products. I do have some of them posted over on my community wall as well as Facebook. And I do notice that a lot of people have been sharing a lot of different stuff. Almost every community has a public slope site just posted on all of those public swap sites, and a lot of people will see it without having to go anywhere. I agree. We will do that, and we continue praying for all of you. Yeah, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to get ready to end this one here. And I might go live here in a little bit on some other information and some other updates and some other cases. But as always, if you haven't hit that thumbs up, please hit the thumbs up on your way out. And as always, if you see something, say something.